What if the most important camera Nikon hasn't released is the one that could define its future? And that's where the question begins to sting. Has Nikon delayed the Z7 III because it's not ready, or because it's no longer important? This isn't just about a camera anymore. It's about whether the high-resolution stills-first philosophy still has a place in Nikon's vision for the future, or if the Nikon Z7 III is slowly turning into a missed opportunity. Let's know more. The rumor mill surrounding the Z7 III is messy, contradictory, and oddly fascinating. Some leaks suggest a massive leap forward, a sensor in the 60+ megapixel range, possibly sourced from Sony or even an alternative partner like TowerJazz. Others hint at features that feel almost too ambitious. Internal 8K recording, advanced autofocus powered by Nikon's latest processing engine, and a level of performance that edges dangerously close to flagship territory. But here's the interesting part. Whether those leaks are accurate or not almost doesn't matter anymore, because they reveal what people want the Z7 III to be. Photographers aren't asking for another hybrid monster, they're asking for something more focused. A camera that prioritizes resolution above everything else. A tool that captures insane detail without trying to double as a cinema rig. There's also a growing expectation that Nikon could borrow technology from its higher-end lineup. Autofocus systems, processing power, maybe even stabilization improvements, and refine it for a slower, more deliberate shooting experience. Not faster, just smarter. At the same time, there's skepticism. If Nikon simply repackages existing hardware into a slightly different body, the Z7 III risks becoming redundant. And that's the tightrope it's currently walking, between being revolutionary and completely unnecessary. The delay of the Z7 III isn't accidental, it's strategic and possibly unavoidable. From a business standpoint, the reasoning is straightforward. The audience for ultra-high-resolution cameras is smaller compared to hybrid shooters or event photographers. Cameras like the Z6 series appeal to a broader market, which makes them easier to prioritize. If you're Nikon, it makes sense to focus resources where demand is highest. But there's a deeper issue here: internal competition. Nikon already has cameras that overlap with what the Z7 III is supposed to offer. The Z8, for example, delivers high resolution and incredible speed, along with cutting-edge video features. It's the kind of product that blurs categories. Now, the possibility of Z8 getting a sequel, the question becomes, how do you release a Z7 III that doesn't get overshadowed by your own lineup? This is where things get complicated. If the Z7 III is too similar to the Z8, it becomes irrelevant. If it's too stripped down, it feels overpriced. And if it tries to compete directly, it risks cannibalizing Nikon's own flagship-tier sales. There's also the reality of development priorities. Modern cameras are increasingly complex with AI-driven autofocus, faster readout speeds, and more demanding processors. Balancing all of that while maintaining the Z7's identity, clean image quality, base ISO performance, and precision takes time, so the delay might not be a sign of neglect. It might be Nikon trying to figure out what the Z7 III is supposed to be in a lineup that has evolved far beyond its original purpose. This is where the Z7 III becomes more than just a product. It becomes a statement. If Nikon wants this camera to matter, it can't just follow trends. It has to reject them, at least partially. The Z7 series was never about speed or versatility. It was about control, detail, and image purity. That identity needs to be protected, not diluted. There's a strong argument for Nikon to lean into specialization. Imagine a camera that pushes beyond 60 megapixels, not for marketing, but for genuine image fidelity. Pair that with improved readout speeds to reduce rolling shutter, better dynamic range, and a refined shooting experience that feels intentional rather than automated. At the same time, there's an opportunity to modernize without losing focus. Advanced subject detection, smarter autofocus tracking, and improved stabilization don't have to turn it into a hybrid machine. They can simply make it a better stills camera. Another critical factor is design philosophy. Portability matters. Not every professional wants a bulky flagship body. There's room in the market for a lightweight, high-resolution camera that can travel anywhere without compromising output quality. But perhaps the most important decision Nikon has to make is this: does the Z7 III embrace its niche or try to escape it? Because if it tries to be everything, it risks becoming nothing. Timing is everything, and for the Z7 III, timing has already become part of the narrative. Based on current expectations and the broader camera release cycle, a late announcement window seems most realistic. Nikon has shown a pattern of spacing out major releases, and with other models taking priority, the Z7 III naturally falls further down the timeline. That said, the longer it takes, the higher the expectations climb. As for pricing, this is where things could get tricky. A high-resolution camera with advanced features won't come cheap, but it also can't drift too close to flagship territory. With a supposedly between $2,000 and $2,500 price point, buyers will start comparing it directly with more versatile options. And that's a battle the Z7 III might not win. There's a delicate balance here. Price it too high and it feels like a luxury product with limited appeal. Price it too low and it risks undermining its own positioning as a premium stills tool. Nikon has to get this right, not just to sell the camera, but to justify its existence in an already crowded lineup. So, is the Nikon Z7 III a big waste? Right now, it feels like it could go either way. On one hand, the delay, the uncertainty, and the shifting priorities within Nikon's lineup make it easy to see this as a missed opportunity. The longer the wait continues, the more the camera risks losing relevance in a market that moves incredibly fast. In an era where speed dominates headlines and hybrid cameras are built to do everything, there's a strange silence surrounding one name: the Nikon Z7 III. It's not just another missing product, it's a gap that photographers can feel. While Nikon continues to push boundaries with high-performance bodies, a different kind of user is quietly waiting in the background, the ones who care less about burst rates and more about pixels, detail, and dynamic range. On the other hand, there's still potential, massive potential. If Nikon takes its time and delivers something truly focused, something that redefines what a high-resolution mirrorless camera can be, the Z7 III could become one of the most important releases in recent years. Not because it tries to compete with everything else, but because it doesn't. This camera doesn't need to be the fastest. It doesn't need to shoot cinema-grade video. It just needs to remind photographers why resolution still matters, because at the end of the day, there's a certain kind of image, a level of detail, a depth, a clarity that only a dedicated high-resolution system can deliver. And for the people who care about that, nothing else really replaces it. So, no, the Z7 III isn't a waste. But if Nikon gets it wrong, it might become one. Now, what do you think about this whole situation? Share with us in the comments below. Consider subscribing for more content like this. And as always, thanks for watching.